of who you are, what you're capable of doing. You've got so much power locked up in you. It's absolutely incredible as you start to really understand it. You don't hide anything. You don't hide anything. Everything that's going on the inside shows on the outside. It's so obvious and it's so simple. And it's so misunderstood. You see, there's a field force of energy around you. It is so potent and powerful, it penetrates a camera, it penetrates a film. You can actually photograph the ray of energy coming from a person. And as you change the images in your mind, the density and the color of this energy change. Well, do you know you've got a mental faculty that can pick that up and read it? If I can, you can. If you see me do something, you can do something. If I see you do something, I can do it. It's not a matter, can I? It's not a matter, do you have some special talent and ability that I don't have? We've all got this potential. Yet, do you want to develop it? See, I watch those two guys work in that studio. I have no desire to do what they're doing. Absolutely not. I don't want to learn what he knows. The hell would I want to spend my life learning that for? I want to spend my life learning what I'm doing. But we have a tendency to look at other people and think they have some talent and ability that we don't have. They may have developed something that we haven't developed, but we've got awesome powers locked up within us. We're capable of doing anything we want to do. And that's what we want to be aware. So when you look at somebody else, you want to know, I can do that, and you can do it. You see, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not to me I think you think I should be. Not to me I think my wife thinks I should be. Not to me I think my kids think I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. But he said, I better know who me is. Now, right here, we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can accomplish, and for some equally strange reason, we think other people can do things that we cannot. He said, I want you to understand that's not true, that you've got deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you can bring to the surface. And now, if you ask me, do you understand that? I would say, of course I understand it. I've been listening to it for years. But here I am in the back of the room, and I'm watching Gove, and I'm thinking, if only I could do that. And all of a sudden, that record started playing in my head. Now, right here, we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can accomplish, and for some equally strange reason. I thought, that's what it all means by that. I learned if you see somebody doing something and you'd like to do it, you can learn how to do it. But if you don't need to learn it, and you don't want to learn it, forget it. Hire the people. Get your team. Get a support team around you. It's all in awareness. You see, there's a marvelous inner world that exists within us. And the revelation of such a world enables you to do, to attain, to achieve anything you desire within the bounds of nature. Do you know that your spiritual DNA is perfect? It is absolutely perfect. I want you to think, your spiritual DNA is perfect. It requires no modification, no improvement. Now think of what that means. Your spiritual DNA. You may say, I don't understand that. You don't have to understand it right away. Just start listening and trust me. There is a spark of perfection, absolute perfection within you and me. And that perfection is spirit, and spirit's always for expansion and fuller expression. There's no exceptions to this, absolutely none. This power is all-knowing. All the knowledge there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. It's all powerful. It's all knowing. It's all powerful, and it's ever present. In other words, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the car all alone. You could be on a plane. You could be laying in bed. You could be wandering down the street. You could lay under a tree. Doesn't matter where you are, this power is there. It's with you. It's an expression of who you are. That is the real you. Now you got to ask yourself, are you truly what you pretend to be? What you pretend to be is dictating the results you're getting. Think. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. There is perfection within you. And that perfection is seeking expression with and through you. You are not here to just get by. You're not here just to earn enough to pay for your mortgage or your car. I think Einstein put it very well. You are here to serve. And if you're going to serve, you want to bring the very best out of yourself. You want to do the very best you can do at everything you do. But understand, you don't have to know how to do everything. You see, you want to look at this and you want to realize that if you can see it, you can do it. Don't look at other people as being something you're not. We're all the same. You toss us all in a good fire, we're all going to be reduced to the same level. Let's understand this. We are spiritual beings. Spirit's perfect. Spirit operates by law. We want to understand the laws. Let's understand that everything there ever was or ever will be is already here. If not in one state, another. We're watching the world change so dramatically. You know why? More people are aware. This industry that I'm a part of was in rompers when I started. Nobody knew what it was. It's only about 50, 60 years old. Compare that to textiles or real estate. Hundreds of years old. This is new. People are aware. They're starting to become aware. There's no end to what we can do. We are spiritual beings. Have you any idea what you could do? No one knows what you are capable of doing. If you don't unleash your imagination, you're never even going to figure it out. The vision you build in your mind, if you hold it, must move into form. Andrew Carnegie said, any idea that's held in the mind. What idea? Any idea. Any idea. All the knowledge, all the power is right here. Let your mind get into it. Any idea that's held in the mind. That's emphasized that you continually think, that you continually feed. That's emphasized. That's either feared or revered. The great sufferer in the Bible, Job, he says, lo, the thing I fear has come to visit upon me. I guess. Any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. All ideas have a gestation or an incubation period that's controlled by a law of gender. No one knows what the gestation period is for an idea, but an idea is a spiritual seed. Yet it grows by the same law as carrots or wheat grow by, because everything grows by the same law. When you hold the idea in your mind, and you keep developing your ability to work on the idea, to execute the idea, you're shorting the span of incubation. You can shorten the span of incubation through concentration, because concentration increases amplitude of vibration. Energy flows to you and through you. When it comes into your consciousness, it has no form. You give it form, and you send it off back into the universe. I was tired of struggling. I was tired of being unhappy. I was just tired of working hard and going backwards. That when he said, if you do exactly what I tell you, you can get anything you want, I really didn't believe him. But he said, Bob, your way's not working. Why don't you try mine? And that sort of sunk in. And I had to be honest, my way wasn't working. I don't care what you think you know. If the results aren't there, it's not working. Or you might know it, but it's all just on a conscious level. And stuff on a conscious level isn't going to do you any good. You got to get it on a subconscious level. You got to get it into the innate mind, into the universal side of your mind. And you can tell whether you got it there by the results you're getting, by studying your own behavior. Right. I hear people say, oh no, I understand it, I got it. Hell, if you watch their behavior, you know they haven't got it. You see, Paul was right. It's not an easy thing to do. But it's something you have to do. And if you're not prepared to look at the cold, hard facts, the results you're getting, it probably won't improve. No matter, you can come back to Matrix 50 times, it ain't going to change it. This is where you've got to get really honest with yourself. Look what Edison pointed out here. He said, I know this world is ruled by infinite intelligence. I know it is. Everything that surrounds us, everything that exists, proves that. We are, we're subject to laws, infinite laws. There's laws behind everything that happens. There can be no denying this fact. It's mathematical in its precision. Well, the results you're getting are an expression of your own behavior. And you can deny it, you can stick your head in the sand, but until you really face it, it isn't going to get. Now, I think it's easy to think, well, there's nothing wrong. I don't care if the results are terrible. There's nothing wrong with looking at it. It's neither good nor bad. And if we can get that part in our mind, there's nothing good or bad, except our thinking makes it so. Ralph Waldo Trine brought that out beautifully in a book, In Tune with the Infinite. Nothing is good or bad except our thinking makes it so. And when our thinking makes it so, we move into that vibration. So if you're looking at results and you don't like your results, quit thinking they're bad. Say, well, now this is good. It's not what I want to keep getting. I am going to get something so much better than this. And start to get your head into the positive side. Everything that is happening by law. Now, it's not wrong to be dissatisfied. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. It's dissatisfaction that has given us the lifestyle that we enjoy today. It was dissatisfaction that gave us the ability to illuminate the room. It was dissatisfaction that gave us the ability to amplify our own voice or send images of ourselves to any corner of the universe, or to take a cell phone and just touch it and boom, you're communicating with somebody anywhere in the world. It was dissatisfaction that enabled that. Well, it's dissatisfaction in the lifestyle that you're living that's going to probably move you on to doing it a little better. I don't care how good your relationships are, they can get better. I don't care how much money you're earning, you can earn more. I don't care how effective you are, you can become more effective. But you've got to be totally dissatisfied with the way you're doing it. And if you're not dissatisfied, you'll probably stay where you are. Now, you can be totally dissatisfied and yet very happy. You see, most people think that won't work. Why do we think that won't work? Because we were programmed to think that wouldn't work. That's not the way it is at all.
All right. Hope you guys were enjoying that, because I didn't even want to stop it. I was like, yo, should we let Mornings with Nano just be Bob Proctor today? But there we go. What's up, familia? Grand Rising. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning. I feel amazing. I feel blessed. Big happy smiles. We are so blessed and so excited to be here each and every single day. And hope you guys enjoyed that audio, because that's one of my favorite audios, and I really, really appreciate you guys listening to it. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to just be able to grace the stage when it comes to Mornings with Nano every day. It's really a pleasure. I jump on these calls with so much gratitude, so much happiness every single day, just knowing that, we get to walk on our purpose daily. And, it's truly a beauty that we get a chance to do this. So we are just so grateful. Today is my last day doing a Mornings with Nano here. I'm actually in this specific spot right here in my room here in Sunny Isles, Florida. Actually moving out tomorrow is the last day. And obviously we don't do Mornings with Nano on Saturdays. Who knows? We might do a little Mornings with Nano Saturday special. Who knows? Why not, right? We'll let you guys know. But I've been living here now for a year. And we only got it for a year. My roommate's already been moved out. And I was actually the only one living here for the last few months. So I'm gonna take my talents and travel all of the summertime and just spend the summer traveling, and then I'll be back to Florida and moving into a new spot in the fall. So I wanna definitely take the time to spread some, go out there, visit some cities, visit some countries. I got to go to Dominican Republic. I'm thinking about going to Canada. I got to go to Africa. I got invited to Puerto Rico. I got a few cities I definitely got to go to. A lot of different places I got to travel to. So it's actually better that I get to just travel and then come back, because it would have sucked having to pay rent and not be here all summer. So it's amazing how much we're gonna travel, but I'm excited to move back in the fall. But for the meantime, I'm gonna be doing a lot of traveling this summer. So you guys are gonna see me everywhere, family. But I'm excited to just everything that I was able to experience here at this house. Great memories, great relationships, lessons, a lot of beautiful views, beautiful sunsets, and sunrises. And I got a chance to meet Hazel while I was here. She's actually right here next to me. She's probably been one of my biggest blessings. I didn't know that. I always heard that dogs, a man's best friend is his dog. But I didn't know that till I had Hazel, until I was able to start building a relationship with Hazel. And Hazel has definitely been a huge blessing in my life, a very, very big blessing. It's like everything I ever needed. So this place has brought a lot of great things, and I'm just extremely grateful that God allowed me to, experience everything that I've experienced here. And I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for what's next. And, I can't wait to, have this one behind us right here, my baby, which is being built. But I'm excited though, fam. But before we get today's call started, let's talk about some gratitude. What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? I am grateful for God. I am grateful for His grace. I am grateful for health. I am grateful for family. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for my baby Hazel. For those who don't know who Hazel is, this is Hazel, my baby, right? Say hi. Say hi this morning's with Nano. But she's awesome. I'm grateful for wisdom. I'm grateful for just life in general, everything that has been provided to me by just the God and the Lord Himself. I'm grateful for the books. I'm grateful for my team, the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for my systems and my body. I'm extremely grateful for the books I get to read. Grateful for the money we earn, the accomplishments we've had, the NFTs we've bought. Just a lot of NFTs being bought right now. So extremely grateful all the way around, guys. Grateful for everything in my life. So I wanted to make today's topic a powerful one, because I wanted people to really understand the importance of sacrifice, okay? Because we're going into a season of sacrifice, right? And I've been telling a lot of my team as well that this is the summer of sacrifice, okay? And wow, I'm so glad that you actually said that. I want a nano sweatshirt. Actually, what's funny? I actually have a bunch, but the only thing is that they're only for women, and they're only I only have extra smalls and smalls available. Actually, they send me this huge shipment of whatever were available, and I got to figure out what to do with them. So I'm probably just gonna give them to you guys for good price, less than what the original price was. I'll put them on sale. I just got to figure out what the numbers are before I put them out. So I'm actually gonna put them aside, and I'm gonna let you guys know. But it's majority of them is extra smalls and smalls. It's the pink one of these. I have a pink one. I have some pink ones, and I got the t-shirts. And that way you guys can get those before I release the new one, which is gonna happen most likely fall, end of summer, early fall. Big things with that. And I could do a giveaway as well for this as well. And, we're going to work on that for sure. So I got it all organized and ready for that. So that way everybody can, be ready with that. So take a look at that. Don't worry. We're going to get you guys right. I'm going to get the numbers for you guys, and screw it. I'll take one still. But I got you guys. Trust me. I'm gonna let you guys know we got to get the numbers. We actually, while we were packing yesterday, we remembered that we actually had it. So we're going to make sure that we get it right and making sure that everybody gets it. But today I wanted to talk about sacrifice. Okay, I wanted to talk about sacrifice today because true success requires sacrifice. All right, true success requires sacrifice. Okay, and it's something that everybody needs to understand, especially going into the summer of sacrifice. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic today was because, I was like, yo, what topic should I talk about today? Being that it's my last day here. I just want to leave the family with a powerful message, my last day here. And it's so important that you guys understand that when you go to leave something, okay, listen to this, right? When you go to accomplish something, you cannot measure what you're going to get. You can only measure what you're going to give up. Okay. So I need you guys to understand this right here. When you go to accomplish something, when you make a decision, I'm going to go hit this goal, I'm going to go accomplish this, you cannot measure what you're going to get. All right. You can only measure what you are going to give up. This is important. You can't measure what you're going to get when you go to leave something, to go get something. You can only measure what you are going to leave behind, what you're going to give, what you're going to sacrifice. Okay. So you guys need to understand that this summer, you need to have a list of the things that are going to be sacrificed in order for you to get what you're on your way to go work towards, to say the least, right? Whatever you're going to go work towards, you need to measure what you're going to give up for that. And there has to be a list of things that are going to have to be given up. And some of those things require time. You're going to have to give up friends. You're going to have to give up money, family time. You're going to have to give up a lot of things in order for you to get what you want to get. Now, what is one thing, type it in the chat box, that you feel like you have to give up this summer in order for you to get what you want to get this summer? Right? What is one thing that you got to give up? What is that one thing that you feel like, Nano, I got to give this up this summer in order for me to get to the next level? Okay. We see here, we got to give up soccer. We got to give up smoking weed, distractions, sleep, money, TV. Let's see what else we got here. My sis Karina's on here. We lit, right? Females, procrastination, smoking in the mornings, cutting toxic people, being unorganized, friends and family, Instagram, Snapchat, over leverage, partying, spending money on clothes, others' approvals, old habits, sleep, smoking, laziness, boyfriend with the scratching head sign, right? Fast food, video games, fears, men, Instagram, alcohol, listening to music, excuses, self-doubt, fear. So, as you guys can see, there's a lot of things that we all got to sacrifice this summer in order for us to get to where we want to get to, right? And you guys hear the quote all the time, and I say it all the time, and it's the truest quote that's out there. And it says that if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. And I don't think people truly understand that quote. Listen to the quote again. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. So if you guys don't sacrifice the hanging out, the smoking of the weed, the time, the money. We have a lot of things here. The lusting, the girls, the boys, the alcohol, the partying, the insecurities, the phone, the Instagram. If you guys don't sacrifice those things, then the things that you want will become the sacrifice because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get what you're asking for because you're not sacrificing for those things. And that means you got to stop doing it. And this is the summer of sacrifice. And every single one of us has different things that we got to sacrifice this summer. And we need to be identified with that now. It is June 10th and it is a Friday. It is 9:33 this morning. You need to know on paper what you're going to sacrifice. Don't just be like, oh, no, I got to sacrifice this in your mind. No. You need to write it down. I need every single one of you guys to write it down. Make a list. Make a list. These are the sacrifices I must make this summer. Because look at how fast the year is going. It's already June. We're already about to be at the end of this month, it'll be the 6 months. Okay, that says 6 months. At the end of June, it will be 6 months since the year started. 6 months. Think about it. We're only going to have 6 months left. And look at how fast the first 6 months have passed already. Look at how fast the 6 months went. Have some of you guys completed the goals that you wanted already? Have you read the books? Have you listened to the audios? Have you been lazy? Have you been making the sacrifices? 2 quarters gone. Like that, snap of a finger. We look back and it's gone. So if you haven't been making those sacrifices up until now, it's time for you to start making those sacrifices today. Because the reason why most people never get what they ask for is because they never sacrifice for the things that they ask for. Hear that one more time. The reason why people never get what they ask for is because they never sacrifice for the things that they were asking for. They never give up the blunt. They never give up the friends. They never give up the hanging out and the late night partying and the clubbing. They never give it up. So think about it. If you don't give up, you can't go up. Remember that. If you don't give up, you can't go up. Because the things that you're not sacrificing are weights in your life. Think about it like this. This is a great example of it, right? Right now, think of God as this balloon. I want you to think of God as the balloon that's attached to you, right? And all he wants to do is elevate you to where you deserve to be. Okay? But your distractions, your bad habits, think of them as big sandbags. They're big sandbags that are holding you down. They're not letting you go up because guess what? Those sandbags of habits, of bad habits and distractions are holding you down. Now, the only way that God is going to elevate you is when you cut off those sandbags off of you. And now he has the strength, okay? He has the strength to lift you up, right? You can consider them sandbags. You can consider them weights. You can consider them anchors, whatever it is. Your distractions, your bad habits, the things that we must sacrifice are the things that are holding us back. And you never truly know until you know what? Until you start to sacrifice those things. And when I did this for the first time, I always talk about this summer, which was the summer of 2019. The summer of 2019 was the summer where I made the most sacrifices because that was the first summer that I actually sat down. I grabbed a book, I grabbed my notebook, I opened it up, and I wrote down everything I had to sacrifice. There was sleep that I had to sacrifice. I remember that was one of the things. I had to sacrifice friends, family time, late night going out, smoking, girls, boys. I had to give it all up. You name it, I had to give it up, family. And and because, right? And because I sacrificed those things, my whole life changed that summer. That was the summer that I had the shift, right? And you would realize that. You would realize it in your life when you have that shift. Some of you guys haven't had that shift yet, right? No, what are you talking about? What is the shift, right? There's going to come a point in time where you sacrifice enough where a shift happens, right? Where you go from where you were at a low vibration to a high vibration, where you go from being down to being up, where you go from making no money to making a lot of money, where you go from not being knowledgeable to now being extremely knowledgeable. And now your reality will change. But until you don't sacrifice for those things, they don't ever come. And those sacrifices create an incredible amount of willpower. One of the hardest things for me to sacrifice was my sleep. I used to love to sleep. Sleep was my bread and butter. I used to love to sleep till midday. I was waking up at lunchtime, to be 100% real with you guys. I loved sleeping. I love sleeping. You couldn't, morning routine. Oh man, those things didn't exist back in the days, man. They did not exist back in the day. I used to love to sleep, family. And I used to love to be up late doing nothing as well. Yo, warrior spirit, that used to be me right there. She said, used to go to bed at 4 a.m. and wake up at 12 p.m. Yo, that was literally like my routine. Go to bed between 2 and 4 a.m. every morning, and I would wake up between 10 and 12 every day, every morning. I was up around that time. No routine, wake up, you already know, wake and bake, go out, go eat something. I was doing nothing with my life, hanging out with negative, toxic friends. Just not there, bro. It was just it was a tough time. It was a real tough time. Breaking night outside. You already know how it works. And through time, you start to realize that you're stuck. You're stuck. And your life sucks. You're not where you want to be. Your bank account doesn't look the way that you want it to look like. Your future is a hope. It's not even guaranteed anymore because it's just, I hope we make it. And it's a tough place to be at. And I was there not long ago. But everything you see that I have today is because I've sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot of sleep. I went from sleeping at 3, 4 a.m. to falling asleep at 11, 12. Right? By 11 p.m., 12 a.m., I was asleep. I went from waking up midday to waking up at 5:55 in the morning, 6 a.m. I went from hanging out with friends that didn't benefit me and weren't 100%. I went from hanging out with friends like that to hanging out with friends that had the same and familiar future as me. I went from smoking every day to only smoking when I deserved it. I went from partying every weekend to spending my weekends working on myself. I went from spending hours on Instagram to spending hours listening to audios and reading books and writing my goals down. There were a lot of changes that I had to make in order for you to get success. That's why the name of the topic today is True Success Requires Sacrifice. You got to sacrifice for what you want so that the things that you want don't become the sacrifice. And think about that. That should scare some of you because the things that you want is your life change, your family retired, to give your kids a better future, especially for my mothers and my dads out here. Think about that. Just really sit down and think about that, especially my moms and dads on this call. One of the things that I know you want is a better future for your kids. And it's not to scare you, but just think about it. One of the things that you want, I don't even need to know you. I don't even need to know you. I know that as a mom and as a dad, one of the things that you want is to give your kid a better future, a better life. You not making the sacrifices today, you're sacrificing that for your kid. What example are you going to be? What story are you going to tell your son, your daughter? I remember I watched Sean do this to somebody, and I was like, bro, he made me cry, and I didn't even have a son. He was having this conversation with this lady that had a son. And, he basically asked her a question. He said, I can't remember her name off the top, but he asked her, he said, what story am I going to tell your son 10 years from now when he's conscious enough to understand everything? What story am I going to tell him? Am I going to tell him that his mother was a phenomenal lady that made all the sacrifices in the world to make sure that he had this beautiful future that he's now living? Or am I going to tell him that, his mother chose to settle? Am I going to tell him that his mother chose not to make the sacrifices in order for you to live a better life? What story do you want me to tell your son? And I remember the woman just breaking down. And that's the question I have for you guys. What stories would you want me to tell your kids about you? What would you want me to tell your kids about you? Would you want me to tell them that you didn't sacrifice, that you settled, that you chose to be average, or that you went out there and made every sacrifice and you lived it up every single day? You did whatever it took to make sure that they lived a life. That's the story I want to give. I don't ever want to give a story that you settled. So you got to think about that, because remember, everything that we do is bigger than us. Every single one of us are doing this for something bigger than us. So when you think about staying in bed, think about it. Remember, you're doing this for something bigger than you. Every time I woke up, my mom and dad were getting ready for work. What kind of son would stay in bed and sleep till midday while my mom and dad are out there working a job? What son would do that? That's what I would think about. I'd be like, Neno, your mom and dad are about to go work. What are you going to do? You're going to stay in bed and do nothing with your life and go hang out with your friends and smoke? Or you're going to get to work and you're going to go wake up and go work on yourself? So not only would I work while my parents were working, but even after they came home, I was always working, because I understood the assignment. I understood the sacrifices that I had to make. And guess what, guys? I didn't only have to make them for a month or a summer. I've been making sacrifices for 3 years, 4 years now. And we're still not there. But we're grateful for where we are now. So think about that. I've been making sacrifices for 3+ years, and we are still not where we want to be. Grateful for where we are, but I know there's so much more to come. Some of you haven't even sacrificed for a month yet. You guys are in for a very rude awakening if you think you're going to get to where you want to go to by only sacrificing for a week or 2 weeks or a month. I've been sacrificing for 3 years every day. 3 years, almost every day. Think about that. There's 6 months of this year that I've already passed, basically. Have you sacrificed for these 6 months? Did you sacrifice the things that have been holding you back this year already, or no? These are conversations you got to have with yourself. These are things that you need to be honest with yourself with. Sacrifice that sleep, sacrifice that time with certain friends, sacrifice that time away from family. Sometimes you need that. I'm not saying to forget about your family. Sometimes you need to get away from your family because your family might not be the most supportive and you need that time away. Some of you, there's people in here that may need to even sacrifice their relationship with their significant other. But that's not a conversation we're going to have here today. But some of you may need to do that, though. Some of you may need to sacrifice spending so much time on your Instagram and on your Snapchat and your TikToks. So the reason why I said, man, let's talk about sacrifice today, because, we could look up the definition of sacrifice. And I was looking at it earlier. I said, wow, what a dope, right? Find one for you right here. Let me see. There was one that I was looking at earlier that was so dope. And I wanted to make sure that you guys understood. So in sacrifice, you got to think about it. Yeah, exactly. If you don't give up, you can't go up. That's a fact. You don't give up, you can't go up. Okay. There's a few things that you got to sacrifice, all right? And when you think about sacrifice, you think about things that you got to give up, right? A lot of people like to have balance. Okay. They like to have balance. They like to have security. Okay. And that's what scares most people, because we grew up in a time where, security is so important, right? You need to have a secure job. You have to have a secure income. You need to have a secure this, right? And security has truly limited us to what we are truly capable of, right? Now, I want you guys to understand this. There is no such thing as balance when you're on your way to success. There's no such thing as balance. There's only rhythm. You got to find the rhythm in the journey. There's no balance. There's no such thing as balance, because when you're on your way to accomplish what you want, there are going to be other areas that suffer more than others, right? Because think about it. When I was pushing to get out of my parents' house, my time with my family, with my friends, took a hit. That took a toll on them because I wasn't there as much as I once was. I wasn't hanging out as I once was. I wasn't at the clubs as much. I wasn't chilling on the block as much. So those were sacrifices that I had to make, and those were places that took a hit because I wasn't there as anymore. But what I noticed was that because I spent so much time working on my business, there were places in my life that were taking a hit. I was in a relationship at the time that took a big hit. That because of it, I lost it, if I'm being honest. There was family members that I didn't get a chance to talk to as much anymore. That took a hit. People took some things personal. Why isn't Nano coming to the family parties anymore? Why isn't Nano hanging out with us in the living room anymore? What's going on? Friends thought that I cut them off because I wasn't hanging out anymore. I wasn't at the club anymore. I wasn't smoking anymore with them, right? There were a lot of areas in my life that took a hit because I was dedicating so much time to my business, to my journey, to my future. And that's by law going to happen because long hours need to be dedicated in order for you to get to where you want to go to. And you got to understand that. You have to understand that. And I know for some of you guys, you may not want to hear that. You may not want to hear those things, but that's what it takes. And you can ask any successful person out there, and they will tell you that it took a lot of sacrifice in order for them to do it. What do you think? The quote, separate to elevate, is for nothing? No, there's a reason why you have to separate in order for you to elevate. And some of you may not be ready to make that separation now. And that's okay. But as long as you know, as long as you're conscious about it. Because I don't know if you guys heard Bob Proctor before the video, but he talked about it and he said, look, if you are not happy with your results, you are probably stuck. And the reason why you're stuck is because you are not consciously aware of the actions that you got to take each and every single day in order for you to get to where you want to go to. And if you are conscious about them, you just haven't done it enough where it is unconscious, where it is subconscious. The reason why I've been making sacrifices for the last 3 years is because for me now, this is subconscious already. This is unconscious competence for me. I understand sacrifice. It doesn't hurt me as much as it once used to. It doesn't affect me as much as it once used to. You don't think it was hard for me to cut friends off and not completely cut them off, but separate myself from them for a little bit? You didn't think that hurt me? It broke my heart. You didn't think it was difficult for me to take time away from my mom, my dad, my little brother? It was so hard. It was so difficult. But these were things that I had to do in order for me to get to where I'm at today, because I said, if I don't do it, no one is going to do it. Who's going to put my family in that house? Who's going to help my little brother? And who's going to be the example for my little brother? And I had to develop that mental toughness. I had to develop that mental toughness. I had to. And I had to take that lone wolf journey by myself. It was a lone wolf journey. And the toughest part about the lone wolf journey is the fear of the unknown. Because you don't know what's out there in that journey. You don't know what to expect. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what other animals are out there that want to get you. There's a lot of things out there when you take this lone wolf journey. But you got to go out there and you got to find your rhythm. And I'm talking to you guys like this because I feel like I'm talking to you guys one-on-one right now. I don't even feel like there's 600, 700 people on this call right now. That's not the kind of call this is. This is me and you sitting down face to face. We're in my living room, we're in my room, wherever it is, and we're having a conversation. You guys got to be ready to sacrifice everything and anything in order for you to get everything that you want. Alexis asked me in the chat box, she said, Nano, how do you deal with the loneliness that sacrifice sometimes brings? Phenomenal question. How do you deal with the loneliness that sacrifice sometimes brings? And I tell you what, Alexis, loneliness is actually one of the biggest blessings that you will receive on earth. Why do I say that? Because if you don't learn how to be by yourself, you will never learn how to be around others. Remember that. If you don't learn how to do things on your own, if you don't learn how to spend time alone, it'll be hard for you to be around other people as well. Because in time and solitude, time by yourself is where you get to finally know who you really are. You get to analyze your thoughts. You get to fall in love with who you really are. And you get to know the true essence of who you are and where you're going. And if it wasn't for solitude, if it wasn't for those lonely times, I wouldn't know who I am today. And as you guys know, I was never alone because I always had God. Even though I didn't have anybody physically, trust me, I had somebody there spiritually with me. And he was always there to listen to all my prayers, to listen to my complaints. He was there to wipe my tears too at night when I was struggling too. Because there were nights that I cried to sleep because it was just so hard. It was so hard, guys. It was hard. But I kept pushing. And he told me, he said, keep going, son. Keep going. Don't stop. This is what it takes right here. You have to heal. You have to forgive. You have to keep pushing. I'm only testing you. I will never give you a test that I know that you can't beat, that I know you can't go through. And bro, those moments were difficult, bro. They were difficult. But I had to go through them to get here today. And a lot of you guys say, Nano, how long do I have to do it? You will know. Everybody's different. You might only need to be alone for a week in order for it to be inspired. You might only need to be alone for the summer. And remember, guys, when I say time in solitude, it doesn't mean that you completely cut everybody off and you lock yourself in your room and you don't talk to anybody the whole summer. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the time that you spend throughout the day by yourself. Because there's time daily that needs to be spent in solitude on your own. That it is intentionally spent in solitude, where you're taking that time to work on you. There's been, for a long time, I've been wanting to do this and I haven't done it, but there's going to come a time this year when I want to spend some time alone too. And what I want to do is I want to fly to an island somewhere for just a weekend. And I just want to go out there and I want to turn off my phone. I want to take a few books, my journal, and just be in solitude by myself. Because I spend a lot of time around people. My whole life revolves around people. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, the whole year. Okay. And I'm going to do it. At one point this year, I don't know when. Maybe I'll do it towards the end of the year. But I know I'm going to do it though. And some of you guys may need that as well. A vacation just to refresh, just to reconnect. Right? Sometimes you need a disconnect to reconnect. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to Bali. Maybe I'll go to Thailand. Maybe I'll go to Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica. Costa Rica is such a magical place. I might do Costa Rica, to be real. But just go and disconnect. Go spend the weekend in a beautiful resort somewhere. And just turn off your phone. The only people I'm going to call while I'm on that vacation is my parents, because I got to talk to my mom and dad every day because they need to know that I'm good. But sometimes you need that stuff. You need that stuff. And it's important that you guys understand that. And once you guys do this, you guys will look back and you'll be like, man, I'm so glad that Nano told me this. I'm so glad that Nano told me this because this is what I've been missing this whole time. But you got to go out there and you got to be willing to sacrifice, guys. And look, things are only getting even more scarier and worse every day. It feels like, right, on the outside. But it's not because of us, because I was reading today that, our consciousness has a lot to do with the universal consciousness. and our consciousness is clean. And you got to think about this. What contribution are you making to the world with the energy that you put out every day? Is your energy clean or is your energy bad? Right? I know that the contribution I bring to the world every day, all right, is clean. Now, is right now the energy dirtier than it is clean? Absolutely. That's the reason why everything is happening. It's a collective of energies that are being put out. And that's why you see the things that are happening. That's why you see people talking about us heading into a recession. And I don't know if people are ready for that. Don't you see what's happening? Gas prices are hitting all-time highs. Rent is hitting all-time highs. Groceries, all-time highs. But incomes are staying the same and are lower. And I want you guys to understand, guys, that if this recession continues, hundreds and thousands and millions of people will lose their jobs. Millions will be lost. You will see a lot of people struggling because of the decisions that they made these last few months. Don't be one of those people. You need to wake up and realize what's about to happen. Those who've been slacking for the last 2 years, if you don't get your act together over the next few months, it's going to be a very, very rude awakening for you. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to tell you the truth. Because nobody's going to tell you the things that I'm going to tell you. Because nobody cares. No, everybody just wants you to go through it. Listen to me again. If you don't get your act together this summer, you're in for a very rude awakening. Because you need to know who you truly are. You need to put yourself in a position where you and your family are well taken care of come everything that's happening. They don't want us to know this stuff. Think about it. Right now is the best time for people to get rich. But guess what? People don't have money. How are you going to get rich if you don't have money? How are you going to get rich if gas is $6, $7 a gallon? If groceries are at all-time highs? If everything is going up, but even phone bills, everything is going up, but income is staying the same. It's called inflation. Inflation has hit all-time highs. Every recession this happens, and only those who are ready are the ones who are able to capitalize. They don't want us to capitalize. Please see it, bro. I wish you guys would see what was really happening. I wish you guys would forget about, like, I wish you could just put aside all the BS and just focus on what's really happening for real, and pay attention and how you can take advantage of it. There's so much happening to distract you from what's really going on. Remember, what you see on the surface level is never what it really is. There's always more behind it. And you know what? Anna, you're right. I should do a call on this topic because I actually have a PowerPoint to help us out with this topic. But we would have to do it on Zoom instead, so I can prepare you guys for this. Because if we don't wake people up, our people are going to struggle. And they are already struggling. They are already struggling. And guess what? Some of you guys know what to do because guess what? I dropped it yesterday in the chat. I dropped the video yesterday in the chat that I was watching. And I know everybody didn't watch the video because you guys probably, oh, Nano just dropping this video. Please, guys, the last thing I want is to see you guys struggle. I want to see you strive. I want to see you grow. I want to see you elevate. I want to see all of us take ourselves to new levels. I want us to be the ones helping other people through this process because we already know how to get through this process. We're going to win. I will make sure of it. I will make sure that we win, but you guys just need to listen to me and follow me when I tell you guys this. Because remember, I don't do this for me. I do this for us. And I'm glad you reminded me about that, Alex. The time that we are living in right now, we will never see this time in our lifetime ever again, probably. In our lifetime, for the life that some of us have left, we will never see a time like this right now. This is monumental times. These are monumental times. These are times when we look back 10, 20 years from now, people are going to ask me like, yo, how was it during those times? How did you guys make it through those times? How did you guys make it through COVID and the wars and the recession? And how were those times, mom and dad? And we might never see a time like this again, but guess what? This could be the time that changes all of our lives, but only if you are prepared. It might be another 100 years before we see this again. And remember, guys, respect the fact that not everybody's going to always be there for you too as well. Remember, not everybody's meant to write the whole book with you. Some people will write one chapter of the book. Some people will write a page of the book. And some people are going to write the whole book with you. I'm here to help you write your whole book. I'm here. I'm not here just for a page. If you allow me to write the whole book with you, I'll write the whole book with you. I don't want to be the author of the book. I don't want to be the author of your book. I just want to be a part of your story. That's all I want. I don't expect you guys to be the author of my book, but I want you guys to be a part of my story. I want to include you guys in my story. I want to be, and one day write in my book, wow, I was able to help Shelby retire her family. I was able to help Cheryl travel the world and live a life of abundance and freedom. I was able to help Samuel grow a closer relationship with God, and now he's impacting the lives of hundreds and thousands and millions of people all around the world. I'm grateful I was able to help my sister JD tap into who she really is, and now she's helping hundreds of thousands of women all around the world do the exact same. Those are things that money can't buy. Those are things that money can't buy, fam. And we have people in the chat that's saying, it worries them that they're not going to be able to buy groceries. And these are the things that we have to prepare for, guys. For real. Prepare yourself. Start saving your money. Look for other ways to make money. Don't sit at home comfortable. Don't spend. The worst thing you could do right now is spend your time doing nothing. You should see me, dude. You should see me sometimes here at home. You guys won't even believe it. Katie gets mad at me all the time because if I'm not on a call, I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm looking for other ways to make money because I know what's coming. So I know that it is my job to prepare for my family because I understand that if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And I can't afford to fail when my family needs me the most because that's going to be on me. My brother KV said he drove 3 hours for one can of formula the other day. It's funny that I was selling this the other day to somebody. I was like, it's funny that people use formula nowadays. Um, but I grew up in a Dominican household where I didn't drink formula. My mom used to feed me avena, which is oatmeal. Oatmeal. That was my milk, so to say. Right? I didn't really drink too much breast milk or stuff like that. Right? I think I drank breast milk. My mom told me that I was a very different kid. Right? I was a different baby. Right? I never drank milk growing up. I never had formula. My mom said, well, you never drank any of that stuff. I would feed it to you and you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. So my mom used to make me avena. I don't know how you say that in Spanish. I mean in English. But can anybody help me with how to say avena? I know it's oat milk, but how do you the I know it's oatmeal, but I know it's oatmeal, but it's drinkable though. It's like drinkable oatmeal, right? It was drinkable oatmeal that she would put it in a bottle, and is it porridge that you call it? I guess porridge, right? And yo, for four, I was drinking that till I was in kindergarten, like fourth grade, yeah, like fourth grade. No, not fourth grade, till I was 4 years old. Till I was 4 years old. I loved that stuff. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. But I grew up in a different time than most people. I grew up, and my mom is OG OG. My mom is in her 60s, so my mom grew up in the 60s and 70s in Dominican Republic, farmland. Like they didn't have any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. My mom grew up in the 60s and 70s in the Dominican Republic, in the farm, in the farm. So they didn't have formula back then. So they had to do it the old school way. And that's how I was raised in my house. I was raised super old school. Very, very old school. Very, very old school, dude. Very old school. And it's crazy because now kids, and I know that is needed now and stuff like that. But when I think and I look back, a lot has changed for sure. But Avena is so bomb too, by the way. If you guys had my mom's Avena, like think about it. She made that every day for me for 3 or 4 years of my life. So her Avena was impeccable. It's the best of the best. Like I would drink that every morning. Um, but I say that to say this, guys. We got to be ready for an incredible amount of sacrifice. We got to make an incredible amount of sacrifices this summer. And shout out to all the moms out there for real, man. I always give you guys shout outs all the times because you guys know how I get about my mom and my dad and my future and all of that stuff. And I even cried the other day on mornings when Nano shed a few tears because, dude, it really is that it really is beautiful what the sacrifices that my parents made, bro. Like, and I don't mean I don't even want to get emotional, even start talking about that stuff because that stuff sometimes gets me so emotional because I don't think you guys understand how much sacrifices our parents had to make in order for us to live the life that we have today. We don't even know. We don't even know. We Our parents are 100 times I truly believe my parents are my idols. Those are the people that I look up to. I don't look up to celebrities. I look up to my parents. Those are my heroes. Those were the people that made real solid sacrifices, bro, for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it breaks my heart, yo, like every time, like, sometimes even seeing my dad, wanting to still go to work because there's nothing to do at home. And dude, I remember I told my mom, like, I got you. I'll pay for you to stay at home. And I was able to convince her to stay at home for like 6 months, and then she was going crazy at home because she was by herself all the time, and she started, she picked up a few hours just so she could find something to do. But dude, you don't understand how much it breaks my heart that I still haven't got my mom that house in the Dominican Republic, my mom and dad, and gotten them out of there and put 100, 200,000 in a bank account for them so they could live the rest of their life. That's the reason why I go so hard. That's the reason why I still make sacrifices. That's the reason why I don't jump from company to company. And that's the reason why I'm here. I'm still making sacrifices. I'm still making sacrifices. And I know that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen, and I don't question it. I don't question it. I know we're going to get it. That's what we're working for. That's what that's what we're working for. But you guys got to understand that we got to make I can never pay my parents back for the sacrifices that they made. Coming here as immigrants, no education here, no papers, sleeping 8 in a 2-bedroom apartment, working at cash registers and as taxi drivers, working every day to make ends meet for the last almost 30 years of my life, at least 28 years that I've been alive. Bro, and we over here complaining about sacrificing for 6 months. Think about that. People out here complaining about sacrificing 6 months of this year, and we have parents who've been sacrificing for 30 years. Think about that for real. Seriously, think about that for real, for real. How could I ever quit? How could I ever quit? How could I ever stop? How could I ever stop sacrificing? If for as long as I've lived, my parents have sacrificed for everything that we have today. They've been sacrificing for 28 years. 28 years they've been sacrificing for. I've only been sacrificing for 3 years. I pray I could be half as good as parents as they ever were. Half as good, to be 100%. It's like they had superpowers almost. They're like superheroes for real. Parents, for me, in my opinion, parents are superheroes. Especially the old school ones. They are superheroes. But they had to make those sacrifices for this generation, which is us. And now we're making the sacrifices for the next generation. And that's true right there. Not all superheroes wear capes. And I know there's gonna be times on stage. You guys are gonna see me shed a lot of tears in the next coming years for my family, bro. Because everything I do is for my family. Everything I sacrifice is for us. And you guys are also a part of my family. You guys are not my first family, but you guys are my second family. And I do everything for family. I'm all about family. Facts, Alexis. She said, for some of us, if we applied our parents' work ethic into our business, we would achieve everything. We would achieve everything. And that is so true. If we sacrifice our parents' work ethic and our parents' sacrifices, woof, we would have been had what we wanted, to be real with you. One of my biggest inspirations is my dad. I'm working to get my dad's work ethic. I watch my dad go to work every single day, Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, 10 hours a day, 70 hours a week. I watched them do it every day, every day, rain or shine, rain or shine, every day, every day. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that we have people in our lives that have already made sacrifices. Some of you guys have family members who are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, who've been working 15, 20 years. And you know what's the hardest part about it? That they've been sacrificing for that many years and they have nothing to show for it. That's what breaks my heart for real too. That because they were a part of the system, they worked all those years and have nothing to show for it. Most do. Because they invested everything into us. My mom and dad invested everything into me and my little brother. The real OGs. They invested everything into us. My mom and dad invested everything into me and my little brother. Everything they had. Everything, 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 everything. Everything. I'd be surprised if they barely have anything in the savings, bro. That's why I go so hard, fam. And for some of us, it's different. For some of us, we have different desires. We have different whys. But you got to always take those things into account every morning when you wake up, because those are the things that keep me going. Those are the things that's the reason why I'm willing to make those sacrifices. And even though it was difficult for me to sacrifice time away from my family, I did it because I needed them to see that I was doing this for me to be able to give us a better life to live in the future. And a lot of stuff gets tough as life goes on, but you got to be ready for it. And you have to prepare for it, family. So, like I said, you got to sacrifice for what you want so that what you want does not become the sacrifice. And you're going to have to give up a lot in order for you to give. You're going to have to give up a lot in order for all of us to go up. And that's the call, fam. Be ready to sacrifice this summer. It took an incredible amount of sacrifice for me to sit in this chair right here. And I'm still not even, and I still feel like I could have sacrificed so much more. There was still a bunch of days that I didn't grind. There was still a bunch of days that I took off, and look at where we made it. Somebody asked me, have I ever tried horchata? Bro, I love horchata. Horchata is one of my favorite drinks ever. My goddaughter's half Mexican, so I'm very familiar with the Mexican culture. I'm huge on horchata, tacos, street tacos. If you ever in LA, let me put you on to the best street tacos. If you ever find me in LA, let me be the one to put you on to the best street tacos you ever had, guaranteed. If you ever in LA with me, for real, for real. Shout out to my LA and my Mexican family out there. But we got to remember this, okay? We got to remember. If you're in Texas, we up. Yeah, not facts. Hit me up. Don't let me school you. But, yo, it's time to up it. It's time to up it, and it's time to do things that we've never done so that you can get things that you've never had. And that's the truth. We got to do things we've never done to get things we've never had. And I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm so happy that we were able to have a good conversation today. I don't even consider it a call. I consider it a conversation that we had today. This was a dope conversation. We got family on the IG live as well. Love my family. We got a few individuals in here. So I move out of here tomorrow. I actually leave tomorrow. I fly back to New York for a few weeks, and then from New York I fly to Dominican Republic for the whole month of July, majority. But just know that we're gonna run it up. We're gonna make a lot of sacrifices this summer, And just know that even Nano himself has a lot of sacrifices to make this summer as well, family. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday in New York at the OG house. And let me see, is next week? No. 3-year anniversary for Mornings with Nano is 10 days away. I got to start figuring out what we're going to do for our 3-year. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, what am I going to do for my 3-year anniversary? We got to make it special. We got to make 3-year anniversary special. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's do a quick prayer before we go. And let's run it up, fam. Quick prayer. Bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and your abundance. We are so thankful for the continuous lessons that you continue to teach us. Today, we talked about sacrifice and the importance of it and what we got to do in order for us to get the things that we want. And if there was anybody that has sacrificed, it was you, God. You sacrificed an incredible amount of things in order for us to live the life that we live today. And you are the true definition of sacrifice. You sacrificed yourself on that cross for us, God. And we are forever thankful for the sacrifices that you made for us, because of the sacrifices you made, we get to live the beautiful, abundant life that we get a chance to live today. So we want to thank you for your sacrifice, and we want you to know that none of it ever went unnoticed. We appreciate every single sacrifice that you ever made, especially the ones that went unnoticed, God. And we make a promise moving forward that, this is going to be a summer of sacrifice for us, and it's our turn now to return that favor. We need to make sacrifices for the things that we want. And not only do we need to make a sacrifice for the purpose that you've given us on this earth, but we got to make a sacrifice for our families. We got to make a sacrifice for our kids. We got to make a sacrifice for our communities, for the world that needs us. And we got to make those sacrifices because we got to be the change that we want to see in the rest of the world. And we got to start to prepare our families and our people for everything that's to come, because those who aren't going to be prepared are not going to be able to withstand the wrath that's coming. But those who are prepared are going to be able to really benefit and take advantage of everything that's coming, God. So I pray that you give us the strength and the determination that we need to make all the sacrifices, that you're there with us in times of solitude, in times of silence, in times when we're alone. And when it gets hard, God, just give us that signal that you're there with us, because as long as you're there with us, that's all we need, God. So we love you so much and we appreciate you so much. We continue to pray for the individuals that need your help during this time. We pray, we love you, we appreciate you. And in God's name we pray, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please like this video if you guys got value from the sacrifices called today. Pin this. Not pin, turn on post notifications. If you can, hit the little bell at the top. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Big things coming with the whole Mornings with Nano family. And, I'm just super excited for all of you guys to really grow and elevate with the whole family. I got a lot of packing to do today. So I got to just do a little packing here, and then I'm probably going to spend the day just enjoying life on the beach and just enjoying one last day on the beach, fam. So I appreciate you guys so much, and I love you guys even more. Enjoy the rest of your days and enjoy your weekends, and I'll see you guys back here on Monday, fam. God bless. God bless, fam. Love.